Hi, welcome back. Sorry I missed yesterday's YouTube video time because I spent time with my friend last night who came here to Hong Kong from mainland China. And oh, by the way, on weekend I went shopping with her, and here I would like to thank my boyfriend because I finally know how he felt when he had to went shopping with me and didn't know what I was going to buy because I didn't know either at that time. Actually, any time. Anyways, my colleague Albert gave me this article today and said it was interesting and see whether I want to have a read or not. And after I read that, it was really good, I think, and I would like to share with you in this video. It is about an economist, John Keynes, which is a very famous economist, and I think every one of us should know him. It's about his beauty contest analogy, which is an apt description of how financial markets work. He thought markets had been more efficient at the beginning of the 20th century when managers owned most of the shares in a company and knew what it was worth. As shares became more widely dispersed, the element of real knowledge in the valuation of investments by those who own them or contemplate purchasing them seriously declined. He noted the fact that shares of ice companies were higher in summer months when sales are higher. This fact is surprising because in an efficient market, stock prices reflect the long-run value of a company and do not rise in good reasons. He was also skeptical that professional money managers would perform the role of the smart money that efficient market hypothesis defenders rely upon to keep market efficient. Instead, he thought that professional money managers were playing an intricate guessing game. He likened it to a common newspaper game in which the competitors have to pick out the 6 prettiest faces from 100 photographs, the prize being awarded to the competitor whose choice most nearly corresponds to the average preferences of the competitors as a whole, so that each competitor has to pick not those faces that he himself finds the prettiest, but those that he thinks likeliest to catch the fancy of other competitors, all of whom are looking at the problem from the same point of view. We have reached the third degree whether we devote our intelligences to anticipate what average opinion expects the average opinion to be. And there are some, he believed, who practice the fourth, fifth, and higher degrees. Keynes' beauty contest analogy remains an apt description of how financial markets work, as well as of the key role played by the behavioral factors. To understand his analogy, guess a number from 0 to 100 with the goal of making your guess as close as possible to 2/3 of the average guess of all those participants in the contest. To help you think about this puzzle, suppose there are 3 players who guessed 20, 30, and 40 respectively. The average guess would be 30, and 2/3 of which is 20. So the person who guessed 20 would win. If you did not enter the contest, you might consider what your guess might have been. Now that you have thought, consider what the article. Whenever I say it is referring to the author of the article. So now that you have thought, consider what I would call a zero-level thinker. He says, I don't know, this seemed like a math problem. I'll just pick a number at random. Lots of people guessing a number between 0 and 100 at random would produce an average guess of 50. How about a first-level thinker? She says, the rest of these players don't like to think much. They would probably pick a number at random, averaging 50. So I'll guess 33, which is 2/3 of 50. A second level thinker would say most of players would be first level thinkers and think that other players are a bit dim, so they would guess 33. Therefore, I will guess 22. A third level thinker. Most players would think how the game works and would figure out that most people would guess 33. As a result, they would guess 22, so I would guess 15. Of course, there's no convenient place to get off this train of thinking. Do you want to change your guess? Here is another question. What is the Nash equilibrium for this scenario? Named after John Nash, the mathematician and subject to the film A Beautiful Mind, who sadly was recently killed in a car crash. The Nash equilibrium in this game is a number that if everyone guessed it, no one would want to change their guess. The only Nash equilibrium in this game is 0. To guess why, suppose everyone guessed 3, and then the average guess would be 3, and you would want to guess 2/3 of that, which is 2. But if everyone guessed 2, you would want to guess 1.33, which is 2/3 of 2, and so on and so forth. If and only if all participants guessed 0, would no one want to change his or her guess? Keynes' beauty contest analogy remains an apt description of what money managers do, and the beauty contest analogy is similar to those number guessing game. Many investors call themselves value managers, meaning they try to buy stocks that were cheap. Others call themselves growth managers, meaning they try to buy stocks that will grow quickly. But of course, no one is seeking to buy stocks that were expensive or stocks of companies that will shrink. So what these managers are really trying to do is to buy stocks that will go up in value, or in other words, stocks that they think other investors will later decide should be worth more. Buying a stock that the market does not fully appreciate today is fine as long as the rest of the market comes around to your point of view sooner rather than later. Remember another Keynes' famous lines. In the long run, we are all dead. The typical long run for a portfolio manager is no more than a few years, often just a few months. So to beat the market, a money manager has to have a theory about how other investors will change their minds. In other words, their approach has to be behavioral. Interesting, isn't it? This is for today. It's a bit long, so thank you for having watched the whole video. I'll see you tomorrow.